Hello gardening friends, welcome to Backyard Basics. You know, you can grow ferns in the landscape around here. All of Central Texas really has these mini climates here and there. Maybe in your backyard you've got one of those shady areas and you're wondering what you could grow under a tree or in an area that's shady. Well, I'm going to show you a few ferns today that might fit the bill. This little one right here, these first ones actually need some moisture, so it might be a wet spot in the landscape that you would put these. And this is a tassel fern right here. Look at this little beauty. It actually grows up to about 2 foot tall, so it's about 2 foot by 2 foot. But this is a hardy little plant, and it's got silver underneath the fronds. Here's another one that you may have heard of, and this one also grows quite tall. This one grows about 30 inches by 30 inches. It's called a leatherleaf fern, and it's a beauty. It can take some morning sun, but it really does need the shade, and once again, some regular water. This is a nice little one. It prefers a good soil also. Here's one that you may have seen in the past. I'm sure you have if you've been anywhere in the hill country or around the streams. This one is called the maidenhair fern. It's a beauty. Everybody likes this little delicate one, and it's got these black stems in there. It's a beautiful little plant. It likes moisture though. The fact that you've seen it around the streams means that it needs constant moisture actually. But in one of those little waterfalls in your backyard or a wet spot near one of the faucets, which you need to fix actually, this would do very, very well. Here's another one that needs moisture and grows to be quite a nice sized plant. This one can grow up to 3 feet, maybe even up to 5 feet. It's called the lace fern. The lace fern is another very pretty little fern. It's got these triangular shaped fronds. This is a real pretty little plant right here. It's called the lace fern, and it's another beauty. It needs shade and it needs a little bit of moisture out there. And you don't have to have hanging baskets to grow ferns. These can actually go into the soil. You need a nice little rich soil. And here's another one. This is called the wood fern. You may have seen the wood fern around. This is a southern variety of the wood fern, and this one grows to be 2 foot by 2 foot. So it's got a nice size to it. The wood fern is a beautiful little plant and really a hardy little thing too. I think this one would be a good choice, but it's best with some water and a nice good soil. Now here's a beauty right here. It's called the Japanese painted fern, and in certain situations in the landscape, this little beauty right here with its silver coloration really can be a nice accent. And it's one of those streamside plants. So if you've got a wet spot in the yard, this could be a very nice one. Here's a beauty right here. When the leaves are coming out, or when the fronds are coming out, the autumn fern is really pretty. So it has this other dimension to it, and it can grow about 18 inches tall and about 18 inches wide, and it's really a shade plant. This one really needs the shade. It's drought tolerant though. This is the beginning of the drought tolerant ferns, and so the autumn fern is another beauty. Here's one that we all know very well. It's the holly fern. We see it in landscapes throughout the area. It's a beauty also, has these wonderful leaves on it, and another one that can take drought, but it's a shade plant like all of these ferns. Here's one that needs really good drainage. It's called the silver cloak fern. Look at this beauty. Nice little lacy, nice dark green. I think this would be very nice in a landscape. It needs good drainage and it's drought tolerant. That doesn't mean let them go bone dry, but it certainly is a nice little plant for our climate. Here's another wood fern right here. This one grows to 36 inches tall, so it's a nice big one. But again, it's one of those drought tolerant and deer resistant ferns. Now here's one for the area where you have a lot of deer. Here's a hairy lip fern. Nice little name for it. A beautiful, delicate little fern right here. Once again, drought tolerant. This is the sword fern, and this is a nice big old beauty in the landscape. This one can be grown very easily with a rich, moist soil, but it needs to be very well drained. So it's not as drought tolerant as many of these others. So when you're thinking about landscaping and you've got a wet spot or maybe a dry spot out there, this would be a great source of ferns for these Texas landscapes. For Backyard Basics, I'm John Dromgoole. I'll see you next time.